What's up, everyone, and welcome into the latest episode where it is my honor and privilege to introduce the newest punter for Michigan State, Rhys Dakin. How you doing, Rhys?
Doing pretty good. Pleasure being on the potty.
Yeah, no, thank you for joining. How's everything been going? I'm sure it's been a little hectic, a little bit of a whirlwind the last week or two for you.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I didn't really know how much sort of like media involvement and like work it would be to like into the transfer portal.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I definitely wouldn't do it again. It's so much like work and so many phone calls that you got to take and work through, and especially like with the academic side, like submitting all the transcripts and working through all the compliance. Like, it's a
yeah,
pretty it's a pretty like long process and just getting things done. So yeah, lots of work to do, but I feel like we're nearly there. I got a few things
okay,
I got to do. I still got to apply for classes, and I think classes start tomorrow. So it's a little bit difficult, doing all this from home.
yeah,
But I mean, fortunately, Michigan State have been pretty good and helped me out and figuring things out. So
good.
kudos to them. So yeah, no, I can't wait to get back and get things started.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you the question if you've had the opportunity to kind of relax, enjoy things for a little bit. Seems like you might have at least a little bit, but there's still a little bit more of a process to go for. So hopefully you can get that done. Hopefully you can
Yeah.
relax for the most part, and then obviously end up working your way to East Lansing in probably the next few months, if I had to guess.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I have had some good time to relax. My girlfriend's visiting home with me. It's her first time out in Australia. Um,
Okay.
so that's been fun. It's always great to see my parents and my extended family. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, there is things I need to do while I'm here. Like, like school starts tomorrow and I'm here until the 20th. So, I will have some things that I need to keep an eye on in terms of, the US, but I feel like I've got a plan in place, and I'm just attacking a couple things each day, and then putting the rest of the time into spend it with my family and my girlfriend and my friends. So I feel like I've got enough time to catch up with them, and like right now I'm out at my holiday house, which is about an hour
Okay.
from my house. It's in the country, and it's beautiful here. We were at the beach yesterday, and we're gonna go for a walk. In a couple hours here. But
Nice.
just in between, I do have to do some things, but I have had a lot of time to relax.
Yeah, I was just going to say a little bit jealous for going to the beach. I would love to be at the beach. It's obviously not super nice out in Michigan right now. Unfortunately, it's
Mm.
winter time. But outside of that, like, how excited are you to come to East Lansing, come to Michigan State?
Yeah, look, I can't wait. I know it's a brand new staff, uh, and I know what I'm getting with Coach Woods too. That was
Yeah,
a pretty big reason as to why I committed to Michigan State. Like he was my recruiter the last 2 years, and I love him. He's a really good guy, and really good at what he does. And so,
yeah,
like, it was very emotional. It was a very emotional day when I found out he was gonna move to East Lansing. But um, you can sort of look at it as a opportunity, or you can sort of just like, worry about it and let it get to you. So I tried to, not let it get to me. Focused on getting out into the bowl game, having a good bowl game, and then
yep,
um, once that was done, I was sort of in that transfer window phase, and that's when I took a visit to Michigan State.
yeah.
Really, like right when the portal opened, and went up there. It was a really good time.
Good.
Coach Fitzgerald has a lot of energy.
Yeah,
Feel like he's going to be really good this year, and in developing a really good team. So, I really sort of try to be around really good people, and that's what I sort of want to be. That's the
yeah.
sort of program I want to be at. Is a program that utilizes relationships and keeps. It's just there's really lots of really good people in the building, and I definitely felt that going and visiting the Michigan State, and there's a lot of people that would help me out and to become who I want to be. So the strength coach is
Exactly.
phenomenal. He was a really cool dude to meet. He actually worked at Iowa. There's a few connections to Iowa
Okay.
that uh, is in the building. You know, Coach Fitzgerald has a son at Iowa. I think he
Yeah,
was at Iowa for a bit or something. And then the strength coach is from Iowa. Coach Woods is from Iowa. There's a couple other people from Iowa in that building. So, like,
yeah.
you know, as much as I love Iowa, it's nice to sort of like be a part of the, you know, that connection as well, and you know that I'm not alone there. And um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I definitely feel very happy to be a Spartan, and I can't wait to get back there and get started.
Love to hear that. Love to hear that. And you talked about like the emotion you felt when you heard LeVar Woods was going to Michigan State. I want to talk a little bit about like the emotion when you made the decision to enter the portal. How difficult is that decision? Because like I know you mentioned LeVar Woods is a big reason why you came to Michigan State. He was a guy that
Mhm.
recruited you. He was a guy that was at Iowa for 2 years. He decided to come to Michigan State. It can't still be easy entering the portal and making that decision because you've been at Iowa for 2 years
Yeah,
prior to obviously coming to Michigan State.
yeah, it definitely was not easy. I mean, I built so many friendships and relationships with the staff and teammates at Iowa, and you know, it's like it's this weird feeling, you know, transferring because you know, at the end of the day, you're going to a different school and you're not going to see
Yeah,
those guys at like very like at all anymore. So I still plan on going back and visiting, but you know, it's like oh, I'm just hitting the portal, but in reality, like I'm leaving a program. It's where I feel safe and you know I feel you know wanted
yeah,
and appreciated. Um, so yeah, like I was always going to be my home, and yeah, I had a really good chat with Coach Ferentz on the way out, and you know we're on really good terms. And I want the best for Iowa. You know, like I even said to him, like I'm happy to, you know, help them find the guy that they want in to replace me. Like, and yeah, like I have really good relationships with all the special teams guys, and so
yeah,
yeah, it's a really like a very well run program, and Coach Ferentz has built that up and built the culture to what it is today. And is you know like I was in tears, you know, talking to you know Coach Woods about like him leaving because you know I wanted to stay at Iowa,
yeah,
uh, and it was just a very emotional time because you know that's the first program that you know took a chance on me, and all
exactly.
of the people in the building are just like phenomenal and cared so much for my you know welcoming me into the program and my development. So another thing is like the town in general. I mean, being a punter at Iowa was a pretty like big deal in the scheme of things in the last few years, and
Yeah,
the fans, you know, very like really welcomed me in, and you know, going out and like people just seeing punting is winning things and like
yeah,
punting shirts, like you don't really see that anywhere else in in the country. I feel like so it's just a really good place to be as a punter, and
yeah,
I definitely knew that I'd like be missing that. Um, you know, like all the support for the punter. Like you know, I don't know if I'm going to get that at Michigan State, just with like you know the way things were at Iowa. But you know, it's an opportunity to you know go somewhere brand new and continue where I left off, and
yeah,
I'm still being coached by the same guy. So
exactly.
again, yeah, to reiterate, like I love Iowa, and it's always going to be you know my first home and
Yeah.
the place that I you know made so many memories with. So um, yeah.
And just to say, like, MSU loves punters. We just had Ryan
Mm.
Eckley, great punter. I think you'll see a ton of support from Michigan State fans when it comes
Okay.
to punting, when it comes to special teams. It is really, really a great fan base that
Mhm.
wants to, and that does a really great job of supporting its players. And I think you're going to obviously feel the love once you get to East Lansing. I think
Mhm.
obviously a ton of people are really happy to have you coming to Michigan State. A ton of people are very happy to have your coach coming to Michigan State, LeVar Woods. I honestly think, I'm not joking here, I think the LeVar Woods and you coming to Michigan State had so many people excited. I kept seeing punting is winning, and that's one of my favorite quotes, favorite sayings. I'm going to ask you about that a little bit later, but I want to get into your visit a little bit. You mentioned the visit, you mentioned it went well, you mentioned meeting Coach Fitz. Is Coach Fitz in person, like when you meet him, is he like that energetic? Like, is he truly kind of like what you see, like his personality? It has to be right there when you meet him, especially on the visit you went on.
Yeah. Um, immediately when I see him, just got a massive smile on his face, and the way he runs around the building, like I can see it's almost like he's stressed out, but it's not like he's just a happy guy. I feel like so.
Yeah,
Um, he was at dinner, our visit dinner in I can't remember the restaurant, but it was a really nice place, and he's running around like making jokes, and he's
yeah,
just been a funny dude, and like just going into his office when I first met him, you could tell he's definitely got like a plan, and he's excited, and he's hungry to like build a really good team.
yeah.
So that's the sort of vibe that I got from him initially,
Okay.
and um, he's very welcoming with my girlfriend. My girlfriend came in with me too, so
Oh, that's
um,
awesome.
he's very upfront and was ready to roll. Like, just that's the sort of energy I feel like he's just hungry and he's ready to go. So I obviously haven't spent too much time with him. That was only my first impressions. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be a bit more serious come spring ball and fall camp in the season, but um, he's a very exciting guy to be around. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it seems like you found some pretty similar similarities between the Iowa staff and Michigan State, at least like the kind of
Mm.
like the buy-in, kind of like obviously wanting to be super serious, wanting to like build a really great program, but also the connections as well had to be a huge part of you wanting to go to Michigan State. Was it the connections? Was it Coach LeVar Woods? What sold you on Michigan State to make that decision to finally commit to Michigan State when you did?
Um, yeah, look, I haven't met everyone in the building.
Okay.
Um, there's a lot of people that weren't there that I have still to meet. Everyone that first day there's a lot of visits, and like everyone's running around, and everyone like some of the coaches are taking this kid, and Coach
Yeah.
Woods was with me. Um, the recruiting guys that sort of showed me around. Like one of them was named Frank. He was a really cool dude and just chill, laid back. Um, and then another guy, I met Kurt Richardson. He was a really
Okay.
cool
Yeah,
dude.
great
Had a
guy.
nice chat with him. Seems like he's very, tuned in to my development and helping me succeed. So, um, there's a few other guys and I'm terrible with names, but still a few guys that I have to meet, um, and guys that I can definitely see, working with, and people helping
Yeah.
me out, and building good relationships with these people. I can definitely see. So, yeah, as I said, it's a big thing for me in building connections. So, I definitely, yeah, can't wait to get there. Um, in terms of like why I committed to Michigan State, I mean, part of it's really it's because it's staying in the cold. I have aspirations for the NFL, and
Yeah.
to be in the cold and to show that I can produce in the cold is a good, you know, a good sign for the NFL's scouts. I feel like, I like the Midwest, so uh, the Midwest is really good people, and the
Yeah.
fans are, second to none. And football in general is just crazy in the Midwest. And
Yeah. Agreed.
Michigan State's only a 6.5 hour drive from Iowa. I got my girlfriend in Iowa. I've got all my friends in Iowa, so it's not a crazy drive. Um, I definitely say like the only reason I entered the portal was because of Coach Woods leaving, and
Okay.
so him coming to Michigan State, like after thinking about it, it's like I was already committed to Michigan State before I even entered the portal. Um,
Okay.
I did, I did leave my doors open for a couple other schools. You can never just have one plan. You gotta have a backup plan. So I
Yeah.
was talking to a couple schools. and you know that's there. But at the end of the day, like I was pretty set on Michigan State and
Okay.
staying loyal to Coach Woods. So yeah, I feel like I've definitely made the right decision for my development.
Yeah, and I want to talk a little bit about Coach Woods because, like we specifically mentioned, he was the guy that brought you into Iowa. He's now at Michigan State, special teams coordinator, assistant head coach. For MSU fans listening, talk about the type of coach he is and just what kind of special team should fans expect under him.
Yeah, so Coach Woods is, I mean, arguably the best at what he does um,
Agreed.
in the country. What you can expect is physical special teams, um, a really good returner, and good specialists. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, his kickoff unit, I think, was first in the country, or I can't remember. I don't want to quote on anything, but like it's just very physical. He puts the best guys out there, as anyone would, I guess. But
Yeah.
um, the way that he sort of develops and recruits is, I feel like, very unique. Um, a lot of the great players, back at Iowa that I know, uh, were recruited by Coach Woods.
Yeah.
Um, and the way that like everyone cares about special teams was, I feel like, because of him. He always brought energy into the meetings
Okay.
and always helps develop the guys. So not only are we going to get like really good special teams, I feel like we're going to get really good guys on other levels. Like he doesn't just know how to coach special teams. Like he knows how to develop like tackling on defense and uh
Love that.
he coached tight ends, he coached linebackers. Um, so in terms of like you know getting guys into Michigan State, he's going to help develop them. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, he's helped develop me, and he's helped develop other specialists at Iowa too. But um, yeah, he's just a really good coach, like at
Yeah.
coaching and coaching guys, young guys especially. So
Exactly.
yeah, in terms of like the way like on every sort of punt cover or any coverage, like you're going to see physical guys that are getting into their opponent and making it difficult for them. So yeah, I think the three pillars that he uses, like physical, or it's like, I can't remember, but he's like just energy and physical. Like that's just what you have to be to win against your opponent on special teams.
Yeah, because you talk
Yeah.
about Iowa special teams, right? Like it's been the best in the country for a really long time. And I think Michigan State fans listening to what you're hearing is absolutely going to love that because I think
Yeah.
when it comes to special teams, it's been a little bit of a disappointing when it comes to coaching
Mm.
recently. And I think MSU fans are very well aware of Iowa special teams, especially last year. You bring up punt returners, you bring up returners. Just talk about Caden Weegent. How much did punting to a guy like Caden Weegent teach you about punting, and how nice was it not to have to punt to him during a game?
I mean, yeah, I said this to a couple guys, um, especially like what I do when I play when we play another team that has an Australian. I sort of send him a message, and sometimes I joke about you know him putting a wedge in. Like
Yeah,
for example, we played against a guy in the bowl game, and he was like kind of pissed off that we like they had to play us in the bowl game because he's like, I don't want to bloody punt to Caden Weegan. Like he's gonna like my coach is gonna make me punt it out of bounds 20 yards so he can't get a return. Like
yeah,
um, I'm so grateful he's on my team, Zach. So I can't be exposed as much as like he's exposing these other punters.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, kudos to Weegan. He's like the fastest guy I've ever seen. Um, so yeah, I'm very grateful he was on my team, and um grateful he's graduating too. So
Yeah.
yeah, he was a
I
yeah
was
ridiculous returner.
I was just going to say, I think almost every team in the country that goes up against him is very grateful that he's graduating. And obviously, hoping that MSU brings the next great punt return. I'm sure that LeVar Woods, I'm sure that the coaching staff will obviously get that right there as well. But also for
Yep.
MSU Iowa, Michigan State fans obviously got a little bit of a preview of the type of punter you are, but it was just a little bit of a screenshot. Just for MSU fans that haven't had a ton of time watching you punt at Iowa. What type of punter
Mhm.
should MSU fans be expecting, or what type of punter is MSU getting in you?
Yeah. I feel like the last two times I've played Michigan State has been like nowhere near my best. I
Okay.
feel like I have so much more to develop in my game, and I feel like there's so much more I can do on the field. And like right now, last year especially was a big development year for me. So I
Yeah.
saw some success in my freshman year, um, and that was just straight raw ability, just coming in out of pro kick, just coach to that point, and
Yeah.
then thrown in the deep end, sort of seeing, let's just give it a go. Um, and it was still a little inconsistent, but got the job done. And then the next year, worked on a few different things technically, sort of changed up a couple things, and you know that's like that comes with that builds up and downs, and um,
Yeah.
it can be frustrating. I feel like I made progress in my last game out, which was in Tampa Bay, the bowl game,
Okay.
and that was sort of going back to a more natural feeling of punting rather than feeling like a sort of robot out there. So that's sort
Yeah.
of what I was trying to just build on consistency, and like sometimes it wasn't working for me. Like I had really good games, but I had poor games. Like I think against Michigan State, I had a 29 yarder, which is kind of embarrassing. Like that's what I think about. Um, coming to Michigan State is like, damn, I had 29 yarder last time playing Michigan State, but um, like yeah, I think you can expect someone that can work hard. Like I definitely take pride in doing the work and
Yeah.
trying to perfect my craft. Like punting is one of those things where like it's a frustrating gig because you've only got so many opportunities, and you've got to make the most of every one. Um,
Exactly.
and I'm striving for that consistency to produce every single ball. Um, but like I have so much left out there that I to improve on. Um, and I think this is gonna be a big year for me. I think I'm definitely making progress, and
Yeah.
I can't wait to get out there, and I can't wait to show the fans, what I can do. And um, yeah, I've got very high goals for myself, so um, I'm going to do everything I can to achieve those goals.
Love to hear that. And it's one of those things of like coming to East Lansing, coming to Michigan, you're going to be dealing with different type of weather, different type of
Hmm.
temperature. You mentioned one of the big reasons why you like the Midwest is not only like the people, like the nice people, but also in the NFL, like depending on where you get drafted, depending on where you're going to play, you're going to have to punt in the cold. There's still
Yeah,
some NFL stadiums that you still have to punt in the cold. When it comes to like punting at a school like Iowa, when it comes to punting at a school like MSU, obviously weather's going to play a factor. What kind of different strategies or different ways that you have when it comes to punting in good weather compared to bad weather? I know some people might say like if it's windy, you keep it low. Is it really that much different when it comes to the weather of the game and just what is kind of going on and just kind of what you're experiencing?
yeah. Every punter has different way of kicking in the wind and kicking, in the rain and everything. I think it's best to just keep it simple, and
Okay.
it really is like this is like Coach Woods has helped me work at this. Um, and especially in the mindset game of when
Yeah.
you're kicking in the wind, like it's really just a data point, and the person who is going to succeed the best in different types of weather is the person that's going to master their like approach to kicking in these conditions, and how
Yeah.
they sort of manage it mentally. I think is the part that helps the most. Like, you know, if you go out there and you're worried about the wind doing this and like what it's going to do to the ball, rather than just sticking to your plan of what to do if the wind is bad.
Yeah.
um I think is the difference between a 30-yard punt to a 40, 45-yard punt into wind. So
Okay.
um it's really just how you approach it mentally, and there is a couple different technique things that you can use. Like, I mean, you said it yourself. Like, for into the wind, you do keep it low, and you keep the nose down, and you sort of push through it, and
Yeah.
then when it's going into the wind, it'll sort of float.
Yeah.
So there is definitely ways that you can uh, help you succeed in the wind. But at the end of the day, yeah, like just keep it simple, stick to the basics, and um, it the wind's going to do what the wind does. Like, it'll push the ball in your ball drop, but you can only go out there and do the best you can, and
Yeah.
just try and produce the ball that you need to do for your team. So um, yeah, the wind's it's gonna take care of itself if you just do the basics.
Yeah, it basically sounds like it's more of like kind of a mental like game a little bit, but also making sure that like your fundamentals are good, kind of going back to the basics, which
Yeah,
it sounds like towards the end of the year, especially in the bowl game, you went back to the basics a little bit. Was it a little bit more of kind of the Aussie style? Because I think you grew up playing Aussie football, which is, or at least I
yeah,
think a majority of people grew up in Australia playing Aussie
yeah,
football, which it truly seems like that's where a lot of punters kind of get their starts from Australia.
yeah. Correct. Yeah, I played Australian football growing up since the age of 8. Um,
Okay.
and that definitely helps transition these Australian punters into punters,
Yeah.
because we've got that natural rollout and natural leg swing.
Yeah.
um Me personally, I don't really like to roll out. I think it's kind of boring, to be frank, but um nothing like taking a couple steps and just launching a spiral. I think
Yeah.
that's what most punters find satisfying, is like seeing that ball nicely turn over, getting some nice hang time. Like, any Australian can sort of just roll out and kick it 45 yards, and it'll be
Yeah.
fair call. Like at the end of the day, that'll do the job. But like, if you're trying to go to the NFL and you have high aspirations, like, you know, a rollout isn't going to get you there. It's going to be a
No.
spiral, and how well you can hit a
Exactly.
spiral. So I think
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to focus on this year. It's to their own. Like, there's definitely situations where a rollout is better. Like, for example, with wind behind your back, or the coach wants to get the returner moving to try and force a turnover.
Yeah.
Um, like, that's where I might hit a rollout. Uh, and then obviously, like, in plus 50 territory, like, I'm going to hit it end over end to try and pin him deep. So
Exactly.
there is a couple different scenarios and situations where I'll hit a different ball, but like, if we're backed up, like, and coach asks me if I'm going to hit a rollout or I'm going to hit a spiral, like, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be a spiral. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I've always done. It's always been a I've always had a really strong leg, so I feel like if I can you know utilize the spirals and put my team in the best position possible, like,
Exactly.
why would I not hit a spiral? So
Yeah.
um yeah, that's sort of how I roll. Every
Okay.
punter is different, and every coach is different. Every coach might
Yeah.
want to roll out or a spiral guy. So um Coach Woods is one of the guys where he just wants what's best for me, and wants to put me in the best scenario possible to succeed. So
Yeah.
I call the shots out there. and he'll create the coverage for it. So yeah,
Nice.
that's me.
Yeah, no, that's definitely unique, but that's awesome that you're able to basically call the shots and then just kind of work a little around that. But there can't be anything better feeling as a punter than hitting a 60-yard bomb or hitting a bomb that drops and sits at like the 2 yard line. Like that has to
Yeah,
be one of the
hundred
coolest and
percent.
best feelings as a punter.
Yeah, it completely changed the game too. Like
Oh yeah,
field position is often overlooked. Like
yeah,
people will just go get a beer if I'm out there.
yeah,
Um, so uh, I definitely take pride in what I do, and I do believe that I have a big role in the team,
yeah,
in
absolutely.
helping the team succeed. So uh, yeah, so when I hit one to the one or the two, like I'm gonna get excited. I'm gonna be happy that I've done my job and put my team in the best position to, you know, get the ball back or cause a
Yeah,
safety. Um, and even if like I put the opposition out of field goal range because I hit a ball 55 yards, like that's gonna fire me up. So um,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it's definitely a great feeling seeing you start like seeing the ball fly and then seeing a fair catch like hypes you up.
Absolutely. And I'm a big believer. I've always been a big believer that special teams can win and lose you a game. And I'm a big believer
Mhm.
that can win you at least a couple games, especially when it's a defense, a battlefield position is
Yeah.
absolutely massive. I know that MSU fans, like I mentioned earlier, are going to be really excited to watch you punt, really excited for
Mhm.
special teams. How excited are you to wear the green and white? And do you think it's going to be weird not wearing the black and gold next year? Do you think that's going to be a little bit of a weird feeling?
Yeah. I was looking at the official visit photos that I took at Michigan State, and I've always liked the color white for whatever
Okay.
reason. Um, and I think that white cleats, white tights, white pants, and a white jersey is just sort of what I've always wanted to
Oh yeah.
wear. So I
Yeah, the
definitely feel like
stormtrooper
I'm
type
getting,
feel, like yeah.
yeah, like I can't wait to be in the all white, the white out, or like yeah, that's gonna be sick. The green, um, it definitely looks a little weird on me. Like I've
Okay.
always been used to that black and yellow.
Yeah,
Um, but I actually can't wait. I think it looks sick, to be
I love it.
honest.
Yeah.
Um, and my coach actually asked me to say this that I've always looked good in green. So
Okay.
yeah, shout out to Johnny. But um, yeah, no, I think it looks absolutely sick, and I can't wait to throw it on in August, in September. Yeah,
Yeah. I was just gonna say there's a real possibility you'll will wear black as well with
yeah,
Spartan Shadows uniforms. Those are my favorite. I also do love the all white, the Stormtroopers. I think those are my favorite when it goes on the road. And
yeah,
then the typical Michigan State like green and white pants, I think,
yeah.
is the one I want to necessarily see at home. But I also know you wore 9 at Iowa. Is that the plan? Are you going to try rep 9 at Michigan State?
Man, I hope. I think it's a really good number to have. I requested it as for the official visit photos, and I submitted the number 9. Um, I requested the number 9 to the equipment guys,
Yeah.
so hopefully they pull through because um, I think it's pretty cool number to have. So
Yeah.
um, hopefully we can keep that going.
Yeah, we need to see you in number 9 next year. But if that's the case, if that's not the case, that's all right as well. I'm just really
Yep.
excited to obviously have you at Michigan State. I know you're excited to get there. But before I let you go, I did want to get your thoughts on punting is winning. I know you
Mm.
mentioned early on when we were starting the interview of like you're seeing a lot at Iowa. You're seeing a lot of the support at Iowa for punting for just the team in general. Is that
Mhm.
something that you love seeing the punting is winning? Because I think it's one of the greatest things in the world. I've even bought a punting is winning shirt. Like that
Yeah.
that's how great I honestly think punting is winning.
Well, I mean, where else would a punter want to go when they see punting shirts? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to be at a place where you know it's appreciated, like what more could you want? I mean, the
Yeah.
fans are behind it, so um, like my name would get cheered for in the bloody what's it called, the announcements. Like,
Yeah.
um, it's just not normal to see like a punter get some love when they jog out to the field, or an extra like when they see a kick at 50 yards, like to see that they like get up and about and they love it. Like that's just it's
Yeah.
like it's just a great feeling to be
Yeah.
supported. So um, I don't know, like I don't know if it's going to be like that at Michigan State. I don't know, they said that the fans love a good punter at Michigan State. With Ryan Eckley's
Yeah.
success in the last year. Um, I mean, yeah, I hope to be at a place where I'm appreciated. So,
Yeah.
uh, I got to do my job to earn the respect and the love. But um, yeah, it sort of makes you want to be there more as well. So
Yeah.
um, yes, so some support is always nice when I'm going out there or when I hit a really good punt. So.
Yeah.
I think it also sets the tone for the defense too. So if the crowd gets
Exactly.
up and about, I think it leads into more success, and more energy for the next play on the defense. Even though we don't have the ball, it's like, well, all right, we just hit a really good punt. Like, let's get the ball back, and then we're in good field position. Let's go score.
Yeah.
That's how it was at Iowa.
100%.
We had a really good defense at Iowa, and was fortunate enough to help secure a safety in my freshman year, and to sort of like have that feeling like that I help assisted in scoring some points is
Yeah.
um is such a good feeling. And the
Yeah.
fans appreciate that, and like they know that it wasn't just the defense. Like I did my part in it as well.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, I've heard the fans are really, really crazy at Michigan State, and I hope that
Absolutely.
we can continue the great tradition of good punters at Michigan State.
Yeah, no, I think you'll love the fans. The fans show up every single week. Spartan Stadium will be packed, and I think you'll hear the love from Spartan Stadium. So anyone listening in, make sure to show some love to Rhys. He's a great guy. Really appreciate you joining. We're gonna have to come up with a new shirt at Michigan State for you. We'll need to get like a green shirt or like a white shirt going for you. But I think all Michigan State fans, I'll speak for them. I think we're all really excited for you to be in East Lansing. I think we're all really excited to have Coach Woods coming to East Lansing. I think
Yep.
we're all really excited to have Coach Fitz in East Lansing as well. Sounds like they have some really good plans, and hopefully
Yep.
we can bring fun and great football back to Michigan State. Been a little while, but we need that physicality. We need that special teams, and I think it starts with the coaching staff, and I'm really excited to see how you contribute to that as well. I think you're going to be a big part of this.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I can't wait to see what the team looks like and get back and see the boys um, and build something really special this year. I think everyone
Absolutely.
wants to win in the building, so I think it's going to be
Yeah.
exciting. Yeah,
Yeah. And I know
I
fans are really
appreciate you
excited.
having me on too, Zach, and yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, thank
Can't
you.
wait to get back.
Yeah. No, thank you for joining. Like I said to anyone that ever joins, if you ever want to come back on, would love to have you back on. No pressure whatsoever, but really appreciate you taking a decent amount of your time to join. Enjoy Australia, enjoy your time with family, and really, really appreciate. Good luck at Michigan State. Really excited to see how things are going. So really appreciate you joining, Rhys.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Zach. Stay warm, brother. I know it's pretty cold there at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely will try. But yeah, that is a wrap to this episode. Thank you again to Rhys for joining and tune in to the next one.